Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Dad Jokes. I am Tom.
And I'm Mike.
We are here for episode 13, lucky 13. And we're going to
And
kick
to
things.
bring you the nonstop hilarity.
That's right. Mike's going to start off by, I think we did it last time, doing a pre-digested joke that we will
Yes.
analyze.
Yeah. So this is a joke that we did not write. I decided to just pull it from the same place that I did before, which is, and we could share the link um, uh, in the description to give credit where credit is due.
Mm.
But this is 80 dad jokes that are actually pretty funny, published on MSN Lifestyle. And I wondered, anything you read on the internet that's a blog, you wonder, like, is this stuff that's like just regurgitated from somewhere? Like, to what degree is this actually
Sure.
real content? So I was kind of going through it, and I was looking for something that maybe would be an indicator. Did somebody actually write this?
Mm.
So I'll say that. And the two writers are Claire Nowak and Carolyn Fanning. This is published 8/24/2020. So we're reviewing two things here. One, did somebody write this? And two, is it a good dad joke?
Okay. I'm ready. Hit me.
If you see a robbery at an Apple store, does that make you an eyewitness? Like I, little I,
Right.
witness.
Right.
Did somebody write that?
I would say somebody else had already wrote that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
somebody did.
Yeah.
It actually, now that I read it, I'll comment before we rate it, but it reads better. It looks better on the screen
I was just gonna say. I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
because it has a little eye and a witness.
Almost need the visual.
You do.
See, this is where this is what happens when you have amateurs handling dad jokes.
The dad joke.
Yeah. I doubt that.
Ourselves being stellar examples.
Correct. I mean, the authority on dad jokes, short of being humor me. Yes. Yeah, and it's also, in a roundabout way, it's almost like watching a TV show or a movie with a product placement that's very subtle, because yeah. So it's almost like, oh, are these authors getting kickbacks? Like when we talk about like Purdue chicken, like people wonder, are we getting kickbacks from Purdue? We're not, but if you're writing for MSN, might be a different story.
Does MSN have some stake in Apple? Don't know.
Don't know.
Or vice versa?
MSN would be NBC. NBC is
Yeah.
I don't know how directly they're involved together. I think NBC is also the same folks that own. No, I started to say CNN. I don't know. I think Apple's just Apple.
Apple's just Apple.
Because that's
so.
Huh.
But what would you give the joke?
Yeah, good point. And it's a scale of 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
I guess I'm feeling a little salty today. I'll say a 2.
Ooh. Boom!
Our lowest ranking yet. How about you?
Yeah, at first I thought it was funny, but I did realize that when I read it, as soon as I read it, I thought, oh, it's not, it's nice when you read it. I give it a 3 as a look at it on the screen joke. Uh, I think it'd be a funny text message to send somebody. Say, I'm going to the Apple store. Can I get an eyewitness? Um,
That's yeah. You're right.
so the ways that you can massage it, but
Mm-hmm.
as told on this cast,
Mm-hmm.
two, two just doesn't translate as well. So be careful if you how you use this joke.
Yeah, yeah, because you're gonna have somebody like me that's already a little slow to pick up on things, kind of look a little bit puzzled, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit longer.
yeah,
I got where it was
no,
going though. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
As
Okay,
it is safe for all audiences. I don't see how
pretty
you're.
much, pretty much. Safe for all audiences, I think. You know.
Well, that's a good example of yeah. I guess you kind of have to know your format too.
Mm.
Um, all right. So are we gonna roll into my joke now?
Yes.
Okay. Um, this is the fourth week in a row, I believe, where I wrote the joke the night before,
Oh, okay.
and all of my jokes have been inspired by things that are around me or have happened around me.
Okay.
Um. All right. She gave me a just so you know, my partner gave me a lukewarm green light to go with this. It's not the normal like yeah, use it. It was like yeah, right, right. So just putting that out there. Just um. So when I met my wife, she said she wanted to major in the humanities, and I was confused, and I said, "How is that possible? Um, as that we're in Ohio and that we're landlocked. You know, we don't have any water around us." Um, and she looked at me really puzzled, and I said, "How do you study huge manatees when we're in a landlocked, state?"
You got to go to Florida.
Right, Florida or probably Texas or I don't know, anywhere but Ohio.
I think manatees are in Florida, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I've hit a few actually with a boat back in the day, back in college. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
manatees.
Yeah.
Manatees. Yeah, I like that joke. It's a solid three. It's a
Thank you.
solid
Thank you.
three.
See.
It's not a.
See, Becca.
That's not. It's not a.
It's
It's not
not.
a
It's not.
two.
Yeah. It's not out. It's not out of the park either.
No,
But
no. You
it's a.
got the.
Yeah.
It's classic.
I might have also like botched a little bit and told it a little out of order, but I got the point across. And where it
Impressive.
originated. Let me see if I can find the message from my wife real quick, because this is slightly entertaining. Um, hmm. So she sends me a message yesterday from work, and she works for um, she works for our College of Liberal Arts, and she said that one of the faculty members came into her office because she's in the dean's office, and this is not a joke by the way, and says, "Hey, you know that giant display out front? Because they got it's one of these giant like." It's kind of like got the scaffolding, but it's got that stretched fabric and graphics on it and everything that you can use at different conferences and recruiting events. And she said, "Do you know that this place says um, hu- humanities instead of humanities?" And it had said humanities on it for about
Ooh.
4 years and been sitting out there.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were like,
Oh.
oh my God, like how
Yeah.
did somebody not pick up on that between the
The humities.
yeah, yeah. Um, so pretty funny. And it was the prior dean that I believe had that created, but between them signing off on it, our marketing team signing off on it, and the printers
Wow.
at the place
Nobody caught it.
like nobody caught it. Um,
Interesting.
so and of course, so out of that,
Humities. How do you
well,
hum it?
I'm kind of it was HUMAN, um,
Human
yeah, ITES.
ITES. Oh, human, human.
Humanities. Humanity.
Gosh,
I
I'm
can't even
looking
say
at
it.
that.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I'm trying to think if it's one of these things where you would write it out, and because I have dyslexia, so I can speak to this. I can look at something
Hmm.
on a page, and I cannot see that it is wrong.
Right. Right. No, I get it. I don't know that
But if
I wouldn't have picked up on it.
but if I hear it, I immediately hear that it's wrong. But I can stare at it, and I can't see that I put the of like in
Hmm.
front of the wrong word.
Hmm.
I just can't see it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's I'm still surprised. I mean, I'm looking at this and like I it looks like humanites.
That's right. Humanites. That's what I think. That's what she said. So yeah, I butchered it. But anyway, either
The
way,
humanites.
humanites.
Like I think I would have somebody would have caught that. Wow. Okay.
And so my response to her yesterday when she sent me that,
Yeah.
aside from laughing,
Yeah.
I said, well, at least it doesn't say huge manatees, and that inspired today's joke,
Yes.
breaking
There
breaking down the how we develop a joke.
inspiration is all around you.
Yes, I'm inspired by higher education educators that can't spell,
um,
or of course I can't pronounce. But yeah, that's okay.
well, I'd say it's a solid 3. Good joke. I laughed.
Good for most audiences. I don't really,
Yeah, good for most audiences.
yeah. Except
Yeah.
for people in Ohio, they might be a little ticked off at.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, how about
um,
you? Do you have a good joke for
I
us?
do. I have a joke. Now I wrote my joke in so since we've been doing this cast
Yeah.
since the pandemic, I
Hmm.
haven't been driving because I work from home.
Mm.
Um, but I did have to drive the other week. I had to drive my wife to Seattle. She needed to
Yeah.
catch a flight to go somewhere.
Right.
So, um, I, for the first time, I was in a car for it's about an hour drive. Uh, we talked on the way up, but then I drove home alone. And I was alone in the car for I don't know, a period of time. Actually, I think I wrote it when I picked her up, and I got stuck in traffic. I think it was like a 2-hour drive. I know I wrote it in the car, but it was kind of great because I had this time alone where I could just think
Mm-hmm.
and didn't have paper, so I couldn't write it down. And I'd try to do stuff like I would say, "Hey Siri, record this joke," and I'd like speak it in. It was all like, of course, garbled, whatever it translated as. But I wrote a bunch of jokes. A couple of them, I was told, no, if that one goes back to the drawing board. But I have one that kind of turned out. So this is that joke.
Okay.
So, uh, when I was a kid, um, and I still do, I have bad allergies and asthma, and I had largely for pets reptiles,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yep.
and then people would give them to me because you were that kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is about reptiles, um, now today I keep fish and dogs. I'd never keep reptiles again because they just sit in a tank. And I had like an iguana, and the iguana was mean. I had a number of iguanas. They were all named Iggy,
Mm-hmm.
and it would just crap everywhere, and it would take its tail and it's
And now you've got the
crap
one
all.
thing that you're allergic to. But yes.
Yeah, right. I did, but I get allergy shots to help.
Right.
And my allergies are a lot better as I've gotten older. Anyway, so I kept reptiles, and they just sit in tanks and they just look at you.
Mm-hmm.
But some people would always give me stuff, and somebody gave me. I know for a fact because we didn't buy these because they were very expensive. Iguanas were somewhat affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave me a ball python.
That's right.
Gave me a ball python.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't mine, and it was already named. His
Yeah.
name was Larry. No connection to the other Larry from our childhood, who was
Uh-huh.
Larry Snow,
Right.
who's a character that
Yeah.
used to play. Anyway,
Yes.
not my name, but no connection. Just kind of clarifying that for between you and I. Snake's name is Larry, and it ate ball pythons eat feeder mice.
Yeah.
That's just what they eat in captivity.
Yep.
So got some feeder mice, maybe from Doc Rogan, I don't know, and um, uh, put it in the tank. And Larry didn't eat it. I'm thinking, what's up? Turns out the mouse, her name is Kate. Kate and Larry fell in love. They fell in love, and I guess she was his, what is it? She was his main squeeze, and he was her main cheese, right? And uh, uh, she thought he was hilarious. And But then something happened.
Okay.
Something happened. He got really hissed off, and she wound up suffocating.
Oh God. Wow.
Kate the mouse and Larry the snake
And he got hissed off.
got hissed off. Ah,
Wow. Wow.
it's a long story.
That was good. No wonder Siri wouldn't take notes for you. Good God. I would have shut down too. I was kidding.
It did, and then she reads them back when you speak them, and it's like
It's gibberish.
Kate, Sufo, play, tid, what?
Right.
And then I had to you had to backward engineer it because I got it this morning. I was like, oh, it's cast today.
Uh-huh.
Looking at the phone, like,
What was this?
what was I doing?
Right.
None of this makes any sort of sense. It's like the dictation does not work. You should just use the voice memos, probably.
Whew. So yeah, I'll talk about the Siri stuff in a second because that's a separate conversation after we get done with your joke. I like your joke. It's
Yeah.
definitely, as usual, a lot of layers to it. Like there's more than one joke there, or at least, pun. I would also, because I'm feeling salty today, but I would give yours a solid 3.
Okay.
I liked it. It was definitely
Okay.
eye roll dad joke material. Like, holy crud! I could see your dad. I could see your dad telling a joke like that. It's like, wow. But was your snake
Yeah.
really named Larry?
No.
Okay, I didn't think it was. That's why I was confused.
No, that was and then I think when I was practicing this morning, I did Joe, and I was like, oh no, it has to be Larry because then you can't. There was an extra little joke in there, the hilarious. But
Ooh, wow. Yeah, it's good, and you didn't need to see it on paper. Like I got it,
you didn't even see it on paper.
or on a screen. Like I didn't need to read it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I really, yeah, I liked it. It was definitely a solid 3. Good job. Good job driving and doing that. See, I'd probably wreck trying to.
Yeah,
Is there anybody
but
that's going to get offended with that joke? Nobody really.
I think probably people who have never kept animals in captivity, like a ball python.
Good point.
Some people are I don't want to say
sensitive,
yeah, maybe.
sensitive to that.
They're like,
yeah,
why would you do that?
yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I like now having had them as a kid, they didn't have that stigma then, but I don't think I'd want a ball python.
Right. And somebody did give it to you, right? And like that was
Yeah, they gave me a ball python. At some point, somebody gave me it was beautiful. It was a red corn snake.
Yep.
I had a number of snakes. People, and that's the
Mostly
thing
mostly
about
through your dad, right? Like wasn't it?
their dad or just the neighborhood. And I
Yeah.
mean, it is unfortunate because that's the one. I think the problem of a lot of those of reptiles. You get them and
Yeah,
you think it's like, oh, this is gonna. It's like, nah, it just sits there
right. It's on
on the
display.
best of days.
Yeah,
It
it's
like
like
it,
you're accumulating something. You're like it's there.
and they
Yeah.
don't. It's not like they become more affectionate over time.
Well,
Like it
towards their
doesn't.
food. Yeah, yeah,
Right. It's not like, oh, come here,
yeah,
Iggy.
yeah. It's true.
He just was always kind of a jerk.
Well, my favorite, like, if I can say, just a little slightly off topic, but on topic, um, my favorite story from our childhood with regarding your pets was it the spider or the scorpion that got out and you lost it temporarily or permanently? Didn't you have one of your animals, one of your reptiles or slash
The reptiles frequently got loose.
yeah.
In fact, I have it. I don't know where it is now, but Iggy would always get in the Christmas tree at Christmas and have a photo from my childhood, like Iggy's head sticking out of the Christmas tree because he just got loose.
But
But there was this,
scorpion that got loose?
okay, maybe we had somebody gave us scorpions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or well, you also went around during the summers. You went around and road tripped,
Yes.
and you would come back from like Texas, Arizona with
I
scorpions.
catch a scorpion
Yeah, which
like
was
a
easy to catch. And then
right. Probably not the smartest thing to
I
do.
remember at one point your mom was really upset, or maybe I don't know who. Somebody was upset, and obviously so. That you were like I'm missing one of my scorpions, or I'm missing missing my
Yeah.
tarantula, and like I don't know
Yeah.
that you ever found it, but
No.
yeah.
No.
And
Yeah.
I don't
One
know
of
how
them.
I wouldn't have slept at night. So like I don't you all were conditioned differently.
Yeah, between us and the Grogans, and Dr. Grogan was a
True.
scientist,
True.
and they would always go to Utah, and he
Hmm.
would come back with scorpions and
Yep.
stuff. It may have been, I don't know. I do know that I remember, yes, one of the scorpions maybe.
Got loose.
Yeah, yeah, but any of that stuff, like now as an adult, just fish. Fish look great. They
They do.
swim around. It's
Yep.
got a light.
Yep.
Like it's
And if
beautiful.
you can get allergy shots, a cat or a dog, those are fine too.
They
Yeah.
right, cat, dog, it loves you. The
Yep.
cat, cats are, but yeah, there's nothing cuddly about.
Hmm.
But the last reptile I had were chubby frogs, and they just like
Shelby
they were
frog.
called chubby frogs.
Where did you have that?
When I lived in Brian had them, and that inspired me to get them. When I lived in Jersey,
Oh God. Okay.
chubby frogs they were called. I think they probably have a. I don't. I feel like a jerk calling them chubby frogs. It's like I'm body shaming a frog,
But
but
that's what they were called,
I
probably.
think it was. I think it
Yeah.
was that was maybe actually the name. It probably has a better scientific name than that. That should probably be changed. Probably shouldn't
It's a
sell them
real
as.
chick magnet. It's like having a puppy. Hey, come over. Let's see my chubby
See
frog.
my here. Look, check them out. My chubby frogs.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
and they just sat there like literally,
Yeah.
like you could never even see them. They would just be covered in the foliage.
Oh my God. Well, okay. So, and then real quick, little pro tip from a. You don't
Pro
have an
tip.
Apple. Do you have an Apple Watch? You don't have an Apple Watch yet.
I don't. I have a Casio.
Okay. Well, for when you eventually get an Apple Watch, because it works on I think just about any edition, even like the second edition Apple Watch right now.
Okay.
I have on my Apple Watch a program called Drafts,
Mm.
Drafts, and it's
Mm.
also on my phone. And
Mm.
I learned this from, I think it was our med school or a med student who I work with. And they will, and I use it too. If I have a joke, I had one the other night at 1 a.m. Becca didn't like it because I was talking into my watch at 1 a.m. in bed. But um, I hit this little button on my watch. I can speak into it, and it dictates everything, and then it sends it to my drafts in my
Oh,
phone.
that's see. I could have.
And then
I
I don't have to fool with my phone. I don't have to fool with my navigation if I'm driving. Like I can be whatever. Like it's
You're not
super
shouting in your tiny Ford Focus. Hey Siri. Hey Siri over the road
right,
noise. What is it?
right.
Hey Siri. Take a note. Send a text message to who? Take a note. Take a.
Yep, yep.
I do. I shout at my AI like at the
Yeah.
top of my lungs. I get so irritated.
And Siri doesn't. I mean, out of a lot of the different AIs that are out there, Siri does not work very well, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this,
Alexa's
yeah,
better.
exactly.
No?
For what it does, yeah. And then, but this, like, you don't have to worry about it. You activate it by hitting that little button, and it's right on your phone, and you can have it right on your watch face. So like
Hmm.
mine's available at any time. Like I don't have to do any. I can just literally do and then speak right now, hands free.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah. So um, that's my little pro tip there. All right, so we are at ooh,
We
28
got
minutes.
time.
I think
This is a epic episode.
I think we filled the space just fine. We'll see you next week.
We will see you next week.